Welcome back, and this is our final session. And every show, I tell you, I really hate this part because I don't like the show to end. We have so much information that we want to give you, so much information we want to talk about, and when I have outstanding guests like I've had today, it's just fantastic. Again, we have Matt Lewis. He's the Buildings and Grounds Manager for the town of Pahrump, and he does so much in our town. He always try and keep a low profile as far as him being up front. But we try and get him on this show so you get to see who Matt Lewis really is. Everybody knows Matt, but many people haven't really met him. Matt's a wonderful individual who, again, does so much for our town, so much for our county. So you need to know Matt Lewis. So Matt, again, I just want to say thank you for being here, and thanks for all the information you've given us about the parks. But there's so much more that you do.
We definitely stay busy. The town I've been employed by the town now for 23 years. 23,
okay.
23 years, and it's been great working. I love working with the different events in the park,
okay,
with the public, and it's been a very pleasant 23 years for sure.
Outstanding.
For sure.
Now, what else do we have for our young people? What else are they doing that people need to know about?
Well, we have the rodeo arena over there, and almost every single weekend there's some type of event going on in the rodeo, gymkhana, barrel racing, and that type of thing. So that's always going on in the arena. The arena on weekend, if you have not much to do, you can pretty much walk there, go into the bleachers, and watch the shows and stuff that are going on. So that's pretty exciting to expose your kids to something a little different too.
Are these shows, or are these practice, or what are they doing?
They're shows, just competitive stuff among the groups. They do compete in other areas, but again, it's just more for the youth,
okay,
that are mentored out there. They're showed how to do different kind of training, barrel races, etc.
So if somebody just wanted to watch them I guess rehearse, practice, whatever they're doing, they can just go and sit in the bleachers and watch?
Absolutely, yeah. They have open gate. People love to see, the groups love to see people come out and see what's going on and create more interest.
Okay, let's get out there and watch the people do what they do.
Yeah, it's exciting to watch some of those kids and some of the smaller kids on these great big horses. You know, it's fun to watch. Definitely fun to watch. Definitely fun to watch. So. And again, there is a lot provided by, thank goodness for the volunteers in this town.
Okay.
There's, all these coaches and everything that volunteer their time day after day. The club teams now are going year round.
Okay.
So that's pretty incredible. These volunteers out there keep moving forward for sure.
And we have a lot of volunteers in our town, and we want to thank you for all the things that you do, because so much. Without the volunteers, we'd have almost nothing.
Absolutely. I mean, and it's so great. I coached Little League for quite a few years, and how these coaches can have an impact on the young youth,
yes,
and create that team spirit, working together, the pride and everything. I just think it's so important for a lot of these youth sports. They teach so much more than just whatever ball they're throwing around, for sure.
You know, when I talk to some of the men and women that are volunteering in our town about different things that they're doing, and we just ask for more and more because they're so good at it. And like Matt is saying, it really impacts our kids, and it puts them on the right path, and that's where we want them.
Absolutely. And talking about volunteers in different groups too, the events in the park, the powwow, the chili cook-off. There's so many of those that are put on by different little groups that certainly most of them are not money makers.
Right.
They're just out there for our community to draw people in and stuff, and the fall festival and everything like that. I mean, you get an opportunity. The powwow is something very interesting to go out and see. It's really entertaining. The chili cook-off is another fantastic event in the park, and it keeps me and my staff pretty busy setting up for these different events, for sure.
Yes. Chili cook-off, I was going to mention a couple names. I look at Ron Frazier and Karen Jackson, they're always competing with the chili cook-off.
Absolutely.
And I love that. So want Karen to get well. She's somewhat under the weather right now, but she's going to come back and be on the radio. So we're looking forward to that. But again, volunteers, even people like Karen Jackson that is doing so much for our community. These are things that happen, and yeah, we need it. We need it.
Absolutely.
But Matt Lewis, again, to me, when I need something done, when I need to know something, find out something, I contact Matt. So that's what it's all about.
And you know, it's just, and that's what's brought me a lot of joy in this job is working with these volunteers,
Okay.
the different organizations, the veterans organization, the rodeo group, and all these people. The dedication that these people put in, it gives me pleasure to try to assist them in their events and stuff
Okay.
like that.
Well, when we talk about the veterans, let's talk about the veteran section of the Chief Tecopa Cemetery. And I want to say it that way because it is the Chief Tecopa Cemetery, and we have a veteran section that's there. We wouldn't have that had it not been for Matt and his visionary ideas. He and Jose Tejas came up with the idea, and now we have what we have because of these two men. So I want to thank them both. I'm hoping that Jose is watching, and give him a good pat on the back along with Matt. But
again, here, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but like you said, we have an idea. Mm-hmm. Ideas don't go very far without the volunteers, the people that care, the people that get involved.
Yes. And then when you have support from the town and the county to make things happen, our previous town board, our current commissioners, they support everything that we do. And so we want to thank everybody that makes these things happen. Now, in the cemetery, we have a lot of events for the veterans, and people come out to observe those. But we also have the serious part, which is the cemetery. And that's where we have the burials, and we also have the columbarium. Matt, tell us something about how we got the columbariums there.
The columbarium, it was another process that the volunteers and different groups had worked before. It was put in place. We have a designated veterans area.
Okay.
The veterans are the only ones that have the columbarium.
Right.
But we have full burials and cremation also just for the veterans. So that's really nice. The veterans area I think is something that this community can be pretty proud of.
Yes.
It is really, really nice. And we just wish we see a little more use out there. But they do have several events out there. Pearl Harbor Day, Veterans Day. They have different events out there that, again, are really nice to go out there and see. It really kind of hits you when you see this type of events and stuff out there.
You know, I know each year on August 7th we have the Purple Heart Day now. It's something new that we've started, but for those veterans who have received Purple Hearts, we want to recognize them. And August 7th is Purple Heart Day, whether we celebrate or not, but we've chosen to celebrate it there at the Veterans Memorial. There's also a Veterans Memorial wall.
Correct.
Where plaques are placed for veterans who have passed away. And that in itself is something I think people need to come and see. But even for our youth, and I want to always go back and talk about our youth, we also have the War Walk.
Correct.
And you want to tell us about the War Walk?
Yeah, you've got around the columbarium area there, and I'm sorry, around the memorial area there, you have stones set in place where it tells you a little bit about each war that has happened and kind of the highlights of the war or the facts about the war. That is just enough to make our youth and stuff think about it. We're trying to get in a place where maybe with coordination with the library and stuff, we can have school groups come out there and put something together and do this walk. It's something that was thought out quite well by the advisory board or committee, Veterans Advisory Committee, and it really came out really, really nice.
Okay.
So that's a great area there too.
You know, I'm trying to remember. I think it was at the last, not, it could have been Memorial Day, but I was thinking it was more, no, it was November 11th, Veterans Day. And that's when they had the youth come out, and the youth actually talked about in that War Memorial Walk of exactly what war they were talking about, how many military members we lost during those wars. And so the young people were actually doing that, and that was so impressive.
Yeah, and it's those numbers. I don't think the youth nowadays is exposed to it enough to really give the due respect to our veterans.
Right.
And this kind of just shows them a little bit when they actually see the numbers of casualties and how long the wars went on. It has an impact on them, for sure.
And so it's very important that we do things like that. But we want to reiterate some of the things that we talked about in the first session, because we don't want you to forget that the Pahrump Balloon Festival is coming up February 22nd through 24th. And it's going to be 3 days of fun, and they also have the high school rodeo during the same time.
Absolutely. And another little thing I just want to go back on is the swimming pool, again, opens up.
Yes.
And we provide swim classes, a senior swim in the mornings. So keep an eye on that as the summer comes along. You can sign up kids. It's just a great program, too, for our youth in the community.
Okay, and we've already mentioned the movies in the park. That's going to be at Ian Deutsch. And there's so many things happening. Matt gave you an update on Kellogg Park and the fairground, just everything that we have. But if you have any other questions, you can call Matt and ask, hey, what about this park, or what about Simpkins Park? I saw something going on there, but I'd like to know more about it. Give him a call and just ask the question. I know he'd love to give you an update, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that go on in the background that people don't see, that they think the project has died or gone away. It really hasn't. Kellogg's another one, and the fairgrounds. There is things going on, and we're moving forward for sure.
Absolutely. Now, Matt, we're running out of time. Is there anything you want to close with in the next couple seconds?
Just come out and enjoy our parks. We work very hard to provide a clean, nice area. Come out and enjoy what we put up.
Come see us on the next show.